Welcome back to The Explainer. So today, we're immersing ourselves in this beautifully lush Jamaican beach-inspired vibe. And the whole theme today? It's all about deep healing, boundless abundance, and total personal freedom. If you're a young woman, especially Gen Z, and you're navigating that chaotic, sometimes overwhelming maze of your early 20s, and you're feeling that undeniable itch to just break completely free from the traditional 9-to-5 matrix, well, you are in the exact right place. We're unpacking a really profound blueprint from Self-Care Boss TV about finding your true purpose. Let's just jump right in. Okay, so here's our healing itinerary for your 20s. We're going to map out owning your defining decade, reclaiming your time, healing heartbreak, tuning out the noise, and finally practicing radical self-love. But before we hit that first pillar, I really want you to think about this quote. Create a life you feel like you don't have to take a vacation from. I mean, that is the ultimate goal here, right? It's about designing a reality that's just filled with so much daily joy that you aren't desperately counting down the hours until Friday. It perfectly matches the super blue aesthetic we're exploring today, just a life of constant renewal. All right, pillar number 1, owning your defining decade. We're talking about the choices between 20 and 30. The choices you're making right now literally set the trajectory for the rest of your life. Take a look at this timeline of the creator's own life transitions. At 22, she graduated from Virginia Tech. At 26, she had her first real relationship. And then, by 28, she totally transitioned into becoming a massage therapist. See, this decade isn't just a time for goofing off or figuring it out later. It's a rigorous, beautiful period designed for discovering your mission. It's about trying on different hats to see what actually fits your soul. But here's the catch. Discovering that mission requires some serious friction. Real growth means getting profoundly uncomfortable. Like, this could literally mean throwing away a pair of comfortable Reeboks just to break a stagnant cycle. Or, giving up French fries and intimacy for 12 straight weeks just to hit the reset button. It's completely normal to feel a ton of anxiety when you're stepping out of your comfort zone. But you kind of have to do things that make your brain and body hurt just a little bit, until your spirit actually starts to tingle. Moving on to pillar number 2, reclaiming your stolen time, breaking free from the 9-to-5. This is where we really have to confront early career burnout. Society absolutely loves to push time management on us, right? You know the drill, having 10 wheels spinning at once, multitasking until you literally drop, and always feeling like you're running out of time. But there's a really powerful reframe here, and it's called time expansion. The idea is that time management is actually a complete misnomer. Time expansion is about turning 5 minutes into an hour just by shifting your awareness and practicing deep gratitude. You aren't managing the clock anymore. You are maximizing your presence within it. To actually ground this spiritual concept into reality, consider this highly specific routine: peeling an orange mindfully, loading the dishwasher, and cleaning the floor, and doing all of that in just 30 minutes. When you finally stop rushing and start being fully present in what you're doing, you command your time. You are no longer the victim of a ticking clock. Which brings us to pillar number 3, healing heartbreak and loss. Because honestly, your breakup is your breakthrough. Your early 20s are, let's face it, usually a time of intense emotional turbulence. We constantly hear these gloomy societal statistics like the whole 50% of marriages end in divorce thing. But here's the realization. Statistics are for groups, not individuals. Science simply cannot quantify love. You are the absolute individual reality. So when you lock into your own frequency and realize that love is all around you, you can just ignore those disparaging past-based probabilities. You create your own loving future. And this is a totally crucial reframe for anyone dealing with grief right now. You didn't actually lose things in the physical realm. Trying to avoid heartbreak by hoarding physical possessions or obsessively clinging to people, it's totally futile. Why? Because the purest memories, the lessons, the blessings, and the wisdom, they're always safely and highly accessible right inside of you. Now, if you need a physical approach to actually process that grief, there's this great, highly actionable resource mentioned called Rituals for the Brokenhearted. It's an online dance experience specifically designed to help you physically move that grief right out of your body. It helps you create your own healing ritual and fully reclaim your bodily autonomy after a tough breakup. Because healing isn't just mental, you guys, it's deeply physical. All right, pillar 4, tuning out the noise, escaping the algorithm. Social media anxiety is literally at an all-time high for our generation, and it is so easy to feel completely overwhelmed. But try thinking of your social media timeline not just as an app feature, but as a direct mirror. It's reflecting whatever energetic frequency you're currently tapped into. And this perfectly validates why doom scrolling is so exhausting. If your feed is just full of drama, it's reflecting an internal loop. If it's full of spiritual gurus, it's reflecting your growth. Your algorithm is essentially your energetic report card. I absolutely love this anecdote from the source to prove how the frequency mirror works. So the creator kept seeing the word monk, which actually means self-love in cardology. And then suddenly she's watching a Stephen Bartlett video and two monks literally appear on screen. It wasn't a coincidence. Your timeline knows exactly what your highest self needs to process. The mirror is always working. Because of this, you have to actively choose what to tune into. You kind of have to ignore the masses. While everyone else might be totally consumed by whatever trending news story is dominating the algorithm, whether that's international news about Venezuela or pop culture drama with Diddy, if it doesn't match your frequency, tune it out. Instead, try literally just sitting in silence, listening to the birds outside, and trusting the unique vision that was downloaded specifically into you. And that brings us to our final pillar, number 5, practicing radical self-love, integrating your calling. This beautiful act of tuning out the world brings us to the number 10. Think of it like this. Even if there are 10 different highways you could take to drive to South Carolina, you obviously don't try to drive on all 10 at once. You just confidently pick one path, stay the course, and trust it. We have to stop letting the sheer number of options in our 20s paralyze us from making a choice. And as you're traveling that single path, you have to ground yourself in gratitude. Notice the daily miracles. We're talking about things like drinking your tea, dancing and laughing, watching Sister Act 2 with a student, or simply enjoying the heated seats in your car on a really cold day. These aren't just minor details. Noticing these tiny, mundane joys is exactly what multiplies your daily abundance and expands your time. If you're sitting there wondering, okay, but how do I actually step into my soul mission? Here is the exact blueprint. Step 1, start small on your weekends with hobbies you genuinely love, like baking or writing. Step 2, stop doubting yourself. You cannot compare your day 1 to someone else's year 10. And step 3, absolutely ignore what society told you your work should look like. When you align with your true calling, 60 hours of work will effortlessly feel like 10 hours of play. Part of this radical self-love is also about reclaiming your body. Drawing on some really profound insights from the Desiree Day Wise podcast, the message here is to acquaint yourself with your own womb. Get in touch with your yoni, honor your bodily autonomy, and never, ever make your self-care or your intimacy dependent on a partner. You are the sacred guardian of your own physical and spiritual space. Which brings us to a final, pretty deep question. Are you really afraid of dying, or are you actually just afraid you aren't living? Death is merely a physical transition. What causes real fear is ignoring your vision and staying trapped inside your comfort zone. So take this blueprint, step out of the matrix, stop letting society steal your time, and start living your unique, beautiful purpose today. Thanks for joining me for this explainer, and I will catch you in the next one.